We really love to have people come here. The rolling of the sea is beckoning to me. Come home to Newfoundland and Labrador.
Time to explore our own country. We're off to Newfoundland. We begin in St. John's and its perfect natural harbor, and where Terry Fox began his cross-Canada crusade against cancer, dipping his foot into the Atlantic Ocean. Look at the iconic jelly bean houses gracing the hills. Colorful because it helped the residents find their way home in the fog. Here's a mailbox and an artist's rendition of the houses. We visit the rooms, the Provincial Museum, Archives, and Cultural Centre. Have the best fish and chips at the Duke of Duckworth pub. In nearby Petty Harbour, we see a charming, working fishing village. Signal Hill strategically overlooks St. John's Harbour. Here in 1901 at the Cabot Tower, Marconi received the first transatlantic wireless signal from England. It was an historic event. Just look at this majestic Newfoundland dog.
The Newfoundland dog was initially bred here in Newfoundland hundreds of years ago. They were bred to help the fishermen. Because of the webbed feet, they're really good in winter at pulling carts with wood out of the forest, firewood. They are fantastic swimmers. They would help the fishermen pull nets into the shore. But the big thing these days is that they're water rescue dogs.
Cape Spear is the easternmost point in North America. The historic lighthouse was built in 1836. There are also the remnants of World War II coastal defenses.
I'm born and bred, I'm proud to be an islander. There's a reason why. The waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. So order, understand, we got a bunch that want to get screeched in here today, hopefully becoming very proper honorary Newfoundlanders. Now I'll be coming around looking for the names of everybody getting screeched in. Just
Dawn from Vancouver.
Don,
Jerry from Vancouver.
Jerry,
Ashley from Calgary.
Ashley,
Cliff from Calgary.
and Cliff. As we're about to begin, I should first let you know that I'm not the son of a fisherman or a lighthouse keeper. I don't eat fish 3 times a day, and I don't drink screech. I'm not the boy that built a boat, and I'm not the boy that sailed. I believe in kitchen parties, not raves. I believe in icebergs and blue stars, and that the puffin is a true, proud, and noble bird. It's pronounced Newfoundland, not Newfoundland, not Newfoundland. I is a Newfoundlander. Yeah! This evening your prog is what I call Newfoundland steak. It's actually maple leaf bologna from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The reason why we call it Newfoundland steak is years upon years ago, the kid that would have it on their sandwich growing up would be considered a rich kid. The kid that had lobster growing up would be considered a poor kid. And
The waves wash the sands. There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
I'm just going to serve it to you this way. Do not worry about it if you're vegetarian or vegan, as there's absolutely no meat in it. You said Cliff?
Yes.
Good. And
You remembered
Ashley?
that. That's
Oh
good.
my goodness,
try
you
to.
remember?
Thank you. We eat it now?
Yeah,
or
we're not
wait?
going to say grace.
Thank you.
Okay, it was Jerry and
Gone.
Thank you.
Okay, was it Lisa? Yeah. And Mark?
Yes.
Good.
You got a great
Ay,
memory.
ay, ay.
In one place in particular that we traded with was with Jamaica, because in Jamaica they make rum.
Yeah.
We love rum. We loved it so much we would actually get that on that wharf and we would kiss that fish goodbye, knowing it was coming back to us in the way of rum. So I have a little buddy for you all to meet. This is the real Newfoundland catfish. This fish will not grow any more than this because it's dead and frozen. There we go.
Mwah.
Screech got its name down on the south coast of our province for one drank the shot and yelled at a great big yell. The sergeant came out running into the room and said, "Who yelled out the god-awful Screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander sitting at the bar that said, "Screech, boy, 'tis the rum, me son." And that's how Screech got its name.
There's no place I would rather be than here in Newfoundland.
The Skerwink Trail is one of the top 35 walks in the world. The Skerwink is a pelagic bird, meaning it lives most of its life at sea. The trail follows an amazing coastline of sea stacks, tall columns of rock sculptured over centuries by the forces of wind and water. The trail passes treacherous cliffs, then winds its way through open meadows to sweeping ocean views. We have to navigate a series of steep wooden steps through the forest. Skerwink Trail. After leaving the forest, the trail opens up to ocean views over the town of Trinity. Wow! Here's our first iceberg, seen from a distance, so we drive through the small community to get a closer look. Listen to this fellow we met.
Well, yeah, you've been there now for about 3 weeks. And a few minutes ago, it just broke. And I was here with a big slab of thunder. It breaks from the bottom. We're striking the bottom, right? And it's twisting with the tide. And then it cracks. And this sounds like thunder, I tell you.
Gander is a world-famous airport known for the heartwarming play Come From Away. Gander residents provided exceptional support for a week to 6,000 passengers and crew forced to land in Gander after the downing of the New York Twin Towers attack in 2011. Meet Darlene, who used to be a golf professional in Saskatchewan before opening her Bon Bay Inn. We enjoy a Gross Morn moose drink when we arrive.
Whiskey, Crown Royal, Amaretto, ginger beers. They are doubles, so drink-wise.
Okay.
Doubles plus Amaretto. Cheers.
We had hoped to see this classic view of Gross Morn National Park and western Brook Pond, but learned it's a 2 to 3 day guided backpacking trip. Instead, here we are in the rain, walking the 3K trail to the head of the pond. In Newfoundland, a pond is any natural body of still water, any size, and that explains why this freshwater lake, 10 miles long and 540 meters deep, can still be called a pond.
Hello, my name is KJ, your tour guide right here in Western Brook Pond, and I've been asked some questions about this being connected to the ocean, and is this a true fjord? Well, although Western Brook Pond is often called a fjord, this is not a true fjord, because it's filled with fresh water. This is the typical look of a glacier-carved valley, but over the past 2.5 million years, glaciers have came down these valley walls more than 40 times. And this was a true fjord up until about 9,000 years ago. Now, that is when the natural rebounding of the earth came back up and it cut this pond off from the sea once more. Now, the surface of the pond is about 100 feet or 30 meters above sea level.
Waterfalls pour down the 600-meter cliffs, and we even see a bear. Now comes the kitchen party. the official bird of Newfoundland. We see plenty of wooden puffins, and they are very cute, very comfortable, both to sit on and stand on. A group of puffins is called a circus.
I am completely ready to see the puffin. Let's go.
And we're ready to see the puffins too. Here they are on the rocks. Puffins are nicknamed sea parrots or sea clowns because of their bright orange beak, which turns gray in the winter. They come to breed here at Elliston from May to September, then head out to sea. The babies are called pufflings. Built into small hills, root cellars are a traditional method for storing food like carrots and potatoes to keep them cool in the summer and stop freezing in the winter. Typically, many families would share a root cellar. Around Elliston, there are 130 root cellars. At the Home from the Sea Museum, we learn about the dangers and hardships sealers faced as they walked on the floating pack ice to harvest seals. A very emotional statue depicts a father holding his dying son. They both lost their lives in the sealing disaster of 1914. We thought John Cabot was the first European to sail his boat, the Matthew, to Bonavista, landing in 1497. He said it was a newfound land.
In 1997, we commemorated John Cabot coming across from Bristol, England, and claiming this rock in the middle of the North Atlantic for England. They built a replica of John Cabot's the ship in Bristol, England, and they sailed across the North Atlantic. And I was there along with 50,000 people in Bonavista when she came into the harbor of the Matthew. And guess who was there, ladies and gentlemen?
Today, you can tour that historic ship, the Matthew, and relive the incredible voyage. A memorial to Italian Giovanni Cabot, who changed his name to John Cabot when he fled to England and led an expedition across the North Atlantic to find a quicker route to the east. The Viking Trail is an iconic road trip along Newfoundland's western shore. Ancient limestone rocks carved by the North Atlantic helped to create these incredible arches. What else do we see along the way? Black spruce forests, utility poles, wood piles, fishing villages, fishing sheds, and lobster traps, old and new. Residents maintain personal gardens in the ditches. We approach Lanceau Meadows, an historic site that proves Norsemen landed and settled here 500 years before Cabot landed at Bonavista. Artifacts discovered by Norse archaeologists Anne and Helga Instad confirm that Leif Erikson created a settlement here. Now, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's fun to explore the sod buildings and talk with the Viking actors who recreate life in the village 1,500 years ago. Iceberg Alley begins at St. Anthony, a small fishing village at Newfoundland's northern tip.
Icebergs take 2 years to get here from Greenland. So there are 3 things that will cause them to disappear: fracturing, foundering, water erosion, and melting. So on average, it will last anywhere from a month to 3 months, depending on how big the iceberg is when it gets here. The furthest south that an iceberg's ever been seen before, anybody know? Bermuda. Can you imagine sitting on the beach in Bermuda? You get a little drink in your hand, right? And all of a sudden you see an iceberg float by and you're like, maybe I shouldn't have any more drinks.
Seeing and feeling and tasting the icebergs is a memorable experience. So we celebrate at Tim Hortons with an iceberg donut. St. Anthony's Hospital is home to stunning ceramic murals depicting the history and people of Newfoundland by artist Geordie Bonnet. Dr. Grenfell was an inspirational medical missionary from 1892, serving far-flung villages. He's a legend here, even surviving death on an ice floe with his dog team. Fabulous entertainment at the Anchors Away show. This is an iceberg glow from Rocky Harbor, Newfoundland. Cheers.
Okay, here I am in Anchors Away in Rocky Harbor having my kitty bitty iceberg beer.
Hi, I'm at Anchors Away having a New Beach bullet with my friend Ashley.
Cheers! Here we are at Rocky Harbor, and I'm having a little Vineland vino, waiting for the Anchors Away show.
Now we're in Twillingate, iceberg capital of the world. A delightful town, and we're again captivated by what the town has to offer. Does it get any better than this? All suited up in our survival gear, we head out. We missed this iceberg breaking up, but we love pushing through the bergy bits and holding 10,000-year-old pieces of ice. It's a ferry ride to Fogo Island, home to charming fishing villages and the famous and expensive Fogo Island Inn, which has helped the economy of the island, supporting local farmers, artisans, and fishermen. The many artists have very distinctive studios. Brimstone Head is one of the 4 corners of the world as designated by the Flat Earth Society. We climb Brimstone Head with stairs and chains to help us to the top. At a farewell dinner on the island, we chat with this lovely lady. Tell us about the color of the houses.
Also have a history of real community pride, and there is a religious element too. You know, you'll see in Tilting, Irish Catholic heritage, a lot of cream. You'll see in other communities in Fogo Island, a lot of red and white, Protestant, Anglican colors. You know, people have been on these lands for generations, and there's a pride of taking care of your house. And there's a pride of the land being divided so that brothers and sisters would always live side by side. I think you can show off a bit if you have a bright yellow house. Or I'm not from town, I never go. I'm a Bayman.
Everybody seems to leave the dandelions growing.
Oh, I should hope so. You gotta think, we're out here on a rock. Our season of growing is short. Our bees probably struggle. And so in the springtime, dandelions are one of the first things that come out. We try not to mow them.
We encountered many moose warnings along the highway, but this is the only one that we saw. It's a percussion instrument called the ugly stick, a mop, a boot, and bottle caps.
We'll go,